And now we're starting. Okay. So I guess I should start with that. Last week I had some issues with my internet, so I had to cut my stream short. I mean, I basically had to cancel it. So what we are doing is that I looked at kind of like the packages for like managing your meta, title, link kind of stuff. As far as I understand, the way to handle all of that would be something like next.js head component. But I'm not using next.js, and I was trying to find something for React, and I found few packages, but I kind of like wasn't too happy with what I saw. So yeah, the main reason is that they just use like class components and stuff, so they're like just not modern, and I figured why not write a new modern one. I looked at few alternatives. The one that kind of like oh, what happened? Did they just move it? Okay, but yeah, it doesn't matter. So the one that I think I'm going to migrate to React basically is solid.js-meta, because that seemed to be the most used one for Solid, and it's the like the standard one, the one that is used in their kind of like next alternative, which is solid start, I think. Still starts, so start. Yeah, and it seems like it could miss some features, but it seemed like the simplest one. So after that, I found that there is Nano.js implementation for head as well, which again looked kind of like small, and like half of this is SSR, which is not which I'm not going to probably do at like first version. So yeah, so on the last stream, I think what I did is just set up basically like all the stuff that I need. I created like a npm name so that no one steals it from me. And yeah, other than that, it's just like Vite in library mode that creates like a TypeScript definition files, or what they call it. So so if you're interested in kind of like how to set up the project, I think that my last stream kind of like covers it, and I didn't use this setup myself for anything serious as far as I remember, but it was kind of like half based on the of setup I have for Solid. No, I mean both of them use it, but it's React lazily, which is like my biggest open source project. It's funny. This link server was broken. I don't know how to fix it. Maybe I need to cache it, but then it's not going to be the real ones. So I don't know. So this is like it's funny to find some like package that is like that is used by real people, like I don't know, solid.js-meta or something, and to see that they have like lower weekly downloads, and to think like, wow, apparently my package is like really popular. Yeah, it's not popular by React standards, but I see some stuff that is like, I don't know, even like Astro, maybe not Astro, but I remember some like something that was, is it still called Astro? Yeah, that's the right one. Yeah, so even this is like just 2 or 3 times more popular, which is like, I don't know, huge framework. and mine is just like some random library. That yeah, my biggest problem is this. I still hope that people use it the right way, because there is a way to use it wrong. And I remember I like stalked some people on like GitHub that would use my library and check like how they're using it. Yeah, and I saw, I think, like 1 or 2 examples that that were wrong. Anyway, so I guess what do we miss? Oh yeah, because I have chapters for my videos, and it's actually like pretty hard to do those chapters, because if I go and like record like a 3 or 4 hour video, then I have to watch it. Yeah, so now I'm trying this new system with like basically, like, because I'm multi-stream on YouTube and on Twitch at the same time. In Twitch they have like this, they actually have it on YouTube as well, but it doesn't work on YouTube. But on Twitch I have like a bookmark button, so whenever I start a new topic, I can kind of like click on it kind of easily. And I try to do that stuff on my other computer, because I was running kind of like too much stuff on my computer before, and it was like overheating a bit, especially like with multi-stream. I can open like, I don't know, like four video streams. Yeah, I have like a real estate in terms of like second screen, but apparently I don't have the like the the thermals. Yeah, so right now it's already like running at the pretty pretty high RPMs, and I only have like the stream itself and like a YouTube studio thing. So yeah, did I miss anything? Oh yeah, so I also did this last week, the stream that I canceled. I think it's still like available on Twitch, not for long, but I will probably like create a playlist at one point with all of my like failed failed streams. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention. So I had really like really bad like performance last week, and I didn't know what to do, and like I still don't. I was testing like every evening, like all the like speeds and stuff, and they were like really bad, and I didn't kind of like change anything. And I tried to like restart like all the network stuff before I stream, and yeah. So my current theories right now is that maybe, I don't know, we have like a neighbor that uses the same router or something, and they're interfering, or I don't know. But basically, like my Wi-Fi, especially like on upload, it just doesn't work in the evenings. And so now I'm trying wired like 1 gigabit connection, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to work. I mean, we already did 10 minutes and it works so far. But yeah, that's kind of like my plan in terms of the in terms of my internet. I couldn't figure out what was happening, and the wired option seems to be the only option. Yeah, so do I have any yeah, and you might ask, is like, why would you why would you even stream without why would you even stream over Wi-Fi instead of wired connection? So one is that like I have kids, and so I have to like after each stream I have to move everything away, because otherwise they will like get all of my dongles and stuff like that. I wouldn't like find any of my lights or microphone or all of that stuff. So which means before every stream I have to set everything up back, and adding a new wire, a new like dongle that I need to set up is didn't seem like it worth it. And I actually had like a pretty bad experience a few months ago with wired connection. I was using different dongle, I think, but I had some issues with the stability of it. So yeah, so hopefully this one can do like 2 hours or whatever we will have today. Okay, so yeah, so a bit of stuff that I wanted to cover last week is that VS Code added like this new no yeah, this is like a bug in macOS, is that if you use multiple monitors and you have like full screen apps, it like macOS will randomly decide which window to focus, and like you sometimes like just can't get into like desktop that you want. So I don't know, to each their own. I wish there was Linux on those M1 Macs. So this GIF or like video actually doesn't show how it works, but this like three-way merge is really cool. You can basically like click on this check mark or this one, and it will like pick up this change or this change, or you can check both, and depending in like which order you check it, it will like add them both in that order. So it's really cool. I played with all of that three-way kind of like diffs with, I don't know, starting with like Emacs and all of those tools, and I think this one looks really great. Since then, which is I guess like almost 2 weeks now, or was it? Yeah. So I almost 3 weeks. I had some experience, and like for some reason I don't always see this three-way merge stuff showing up in VS Code. So I don't know what's happening there, but when it works, it looks nice. But I do most of my stuff without this. So I'm waiting for like cool merge conflict to resolve with this. So I talked about this last time. This one is newer. I actually didn't use it didn't use it yet, but I know exactly like the problem that they are trying to solve. And I had this issue with some of our components. Basically, imagine you have your button with some kind of styles, and you want to have like a version of this button that you basically like your pass classes to the button, but you don't want to pass all the classes. You just want to pass like just a few of them. So for example, like if we're talking about like padding, instead of padding by X, you want to just send binding by Y. But then depending on like how classes are even like concatenated or merged, you can lose some of like specificity or whatnot. So it's like it's really a mess. And I think most of our things, how we kind of like solve that is that we would have some kind of like some kind of flag of like, okay, this one is completely resetting, this one is only like resetting this part of the class, and so on. So it's like it's always a mess. So I feel like this is going to be like a great solution, and I haven't tried it yet. So anyway, and it's pretty popular. It's even it's more popular than my small. When I say small, React Lazily is stupid small. It's it's like 270 bytes. I actually have one other thing that is like really small, but I don't know how yet how to package it. So anyway, so we're we're spending too much time on this. We should start coding, which is a bit scary. I know Theo had like a meltdown because of his like I forgot like TypeScript or something wasn't compiling it, and he was really like upset and said, "I'm not ever going to stream coding live." So yeah, we will see. So let's start with actually trying to do something. So so the way it works is that we have this package that will I think that's how we do it, right? With this test. Yeah. So it will create create a package for npm, but you can also run dev mode, which will be kind of like here. So what? Yeah, it's a bit silly in terms of like what's the separation. Let's actually look at, I don't know, like where is it? Did I close it? reactjs-meta. Yeah. So let's just see what is actually like getting packaged, and this is our we're just exporting our like title component, which is not really how we're going to use it. But the separation is that we have our lib, which is what we are going to push to npm, and we have our like app tsx that is going to kind of use it. So let's remove all of that. We have to also remove css, I guess. Yeah, hopefully like none of this stuff is getting is getting into npm, but it's getting into git, so maybe we should clean it up. So let's do like this. Let's do like this. Yeah, so what we want to have is some kind of routing, and I don't know if we actually need routing. So instead, we're going to have, I don't know, like page and set page. And pages are going to be I guess it's going to be like a. I mean, you're not wrong, but I need something like deeper dashboard, and maybe like dashboard extra. I don't know, something like that. Okay. So now it's going to be really really simple. Something like so we want to kind of emulate nested routing, and so I don't know. Let's call it top level, and just pass a page and set page. Do we need set page? I think that's going to be in the navigation. Okay, so okay, so this returns some kind of div. Okay, I'm not sure what is happening right now. Okay, now I know. And that one is going to be something like this. So if page, yeah. Oh, what's happening? I think some VS Code extension was updated or something. Anyway, so let's start this top level. So I have about, and everything else is going to be dashboard. Dashboard. And I guess if page is dashboard extra, then I mean, we can probably do something like this. Dashboard. And dashboard is actually getting does it get page as well? Okay, let's do dashboard extra then. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Yeah, is that enough? Okay, so import. Where do you see import? Export. Okay. Yeah, we got. Okay, so we're at home, and so here we will have some kind of like navigation. That is going to be it doesn't look like the worst idea. Probably makes sense to have some kind of, yeah. And we need to close. Yeah, so if everyone is interested in like my autocomplete, it's GitHub Copilot. I think it's still free for like a month or so, but I feel like I'm going to I'm going to pay for it. Okay, so this is going to be pages, and is that the all pages? I think we're missing dashboard. Okay, so it's if we add it as a const, it will be literals, and then here it could be just type of pages. Oh yeah, should be like just a value. Okay, so now here our click would be the page. Okay, so the name it could be I guess if I just go ahead and replace it with space, something like that, and yeah, then home. Yes, it's I mean, I can do something like this. Okay, and if I think we have CSS, so it could be something like nav A is capitalized something. Yeah, that's the point of Copilot. Okay, so replace didn't work because it has to be like global to work. Now I don't remember how to write a global. So string replacer. I mean, we could write this as a regex. Okay, so I'm not happy about the styles, but I think that's fine. So we could also change URL. I'm not going to implement like the whole router, so it's going to be really easy, like hash routing, like Twitter style. Okay, so we have kind of routing. So hello world should be, where do we get hello world from? It's app, and app has title. Is that where we get it? Okay, let's remove it for now. Yeah, it is. So it shouldn't be hello world. It should be testing our component. Okay, so now we go to title. So it's using it directly, which is probably fine for now, but we want to have like test actually the package itself. And so what do we do now? What do we want to do now? So we want this to be title instead of each one. And the question is, how is it going to work? So one interesting problem that I saw is that if your page already has title, it's getting a bit messy because yeah. So I'm not sure what to do here, and maybe before rendering React, we will just go to like document head. By the way, some guy on Twitter said that using document where is it get so it's document get element by ID like something and then 0. Is that what was his point? Oh, this one is getting I don't remember. Yes, this one is returning like HTML collection. Yeah, get tag name. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so because this thing returns HTML collection, and I think it was looking for head or script. I don't remember, but basically he like what is the point in writing this if you already have document head? And apparently this is like what was his point? Basically, like you create like a whole object here for iterating over DOM objects, and you're only doing is to consume like the first one. So even like query selector is going to be faster and so on. And I think he banned me on Twitter or something. I didn't remember. I didn't remember what happened, but at least we got the idea of document head out of this. So so I wonder if you can just find title element, so the one that says like with React. I mean, something like that. TypeScript is probably going to complain. Yeah. Okay. So now so now let's look at the API and how title is used. Yeah, so it's just basically like a text. So I wonder if we can just say something like this. If I think I want to do it like this: children string. Something like this. So now in the app here, it's going to be I mean, it's kind of like whole app wide title. Right. So we see that it actually got applied. And now the question is, if we go to our routes and say on the home route, we wanna, yeah, maybe not on the home route because it's it's going to be like clashing right away. Maybe like on about route, we want to have about title. Okay, so now we go to about. So what's happening is kind of like similar to what was happening why we needed to remove title. So we have two titles at the same time. So now if we remove this one manually, yes, the new title is going to be applied. But this is all wrong because all of the titles should go into head. And I don't remember what app is using this, but there was one that was using just, not app, but like library. There was one that was just using Portal, and basically it was portaling into head. And yeah, I think it could be solid because portals in React are a bit more finicky. So I wouldn't think that someone from they use Portal in, no, I don't think so. Yeah, so let's go check. This one is using Portal. No, it's not using it, but someone did. And so the first part is, yeah, it should be rendered in head. The second part is that it should resolve this conflict. It's like the title that we have deeper in the tree should win, and we shouldn't have two titles at the same on the same page. So I think I want to go on kind of like high level. I wonder like what is happening here. So first of all, we are talking about meta tag, and so meta tag is this component, I guess, and okay, it requires provider. And most of the stuff is happening inside use head. Create render element. Add client tag. Remove client tag. Right, so it's keeping in track all of this stuff. So what's the create render effect? Oh yeah, it's just create effect. Yeah, I kind of didn't sleep last night. I'm only streaming because I wasn't sure if tomorrow I would have like a proper internet. So okay, so the interesting part is that where does it actually like render something? So that might contain multiple text children. Yeah, I didn't do multiple stuff yet. Maybe I won't. Right. So where's the, so this render function, it just returns string. What's happening? Why can't I render what? Tag. Yeah. So I don't see it actually like mount into anything. Am I missing something? So it's a meta provider. and it's using stuff, and it expects. So where is the head? Where is the head? Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. No, that's server side. Okay. I'm a bit lost. Okay, let's look at the test again. Yeah, so this one it just checks the like the last one wins. Unmount middle child should only what? Oh yeah, I see. That's probably like the bug they had because it needs to keep track of the like the whole array and always use the last one. Yeah, for that it needs. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so mounts and mounts title. Static dynamic. Yeah, we need something like that. So my problem is how does it know to where does it get the head? So let's go and just look for a head. Maybe document head. Document. Okay, so we have so add client tag. Add client tag is the one that is actually adding stuff. So what is happening in terms of like server and non-server? Server. So if it's not server, does it have an else? No, it's just not server, and this is not server. I mean, yeah, for now we're only doing not server stuff. So anyway, so the add client tag is the stuff that okay, so it gets index, and then if we're not on a if it needs to render, it will render as well. But its main point is just to set it into some kind of like array so it knows its position. Okay, so I also wanted to look at the nano.jsx one, just because it it got my attention. So does it do? Okay, it does add to DOM. Interesting. So it's just append children. How does it know to remove it? Doesn't. So maybe that's like older version or something. Okay, so document head, footer. Why would you need a footer? That's so confusing. Okay, so yeah, so let's just go a bit through this one. So SSR, we don't care about that. Okay, so for each children, yeah, so they have helmet element. They don't have like a title element. They have a you could have multiple elements in the S children. So for each element, interesting. So children are HTML elements in Preact. I didn't know that. Will it work on server then? I guess not. Huh, interesting. So it gets HTML kind of like DOM stuff, names, attributes and stuff. Okay, title. So if there are some titles already, it will find title and update it. Interesting. If not, it will create it, edit to head. So this also returns HTML element. Interesting. This is cool. I didn't know that Preact is. Oh no, it's not Preact. It's not. I'm sorry. I was thinking about different thing. Yeah, Nano.js makes complete sense. Then, yeah, interesting. They're doing the. They're not really tracking. So I'm just thinking that the task that we saw was like elements kind of like coming in and out. I bet in Nano.js the one element. So if you have three elements, and the second one you have like a basically like button to show and hide it, then in Solid you expect third one to win anyway, but in Nano.js I wonder if when you're going to show the second one again, if that one is going to be the kind of like the last one, last updated one. So maybe that one will win because it doesn't track indexes. Yeah, it's interesting. Get what's in the hat. Yeah, I think Nano.js is probably, it seems like the buggy one, even though it might work, but maybe like we don't. Yeah, and because it uses, it stores basically like, it doesn't have provider, right, with state and all of that stuff. It just uses DOM as its as its state management. So it's not going to translate to React, I think. Okay, so what is going on in my mind is like, I don't want to write tests. I don't want to write tests. I mean, that's going to be like a chance to check out the Vitest because we use Vite, and I heard that Vitest is like pretty fun one. And I think Bun has some kind of test rather. Maybe we should check that one instead. Okay, cool. Is it cool? It's somewhat cool. So let's start. Let's just try to create kind of like all the same names, all the same things. The only thing that I don't like is that we have a provider. It's not as like a performant. It's not really like a performant thing in how do they call it? Performant solution. Yeah. So it's probably like not going to work as great as solid providers. So I'm a bit concerned. But they only use it for actions, so it's probably, it should be safe. But can should me I could probably just have like a kind of like a global state where I store all of that stuff, and then I don't need a provider. But I bet this comes to like server support, because you will probably like if you're rendering on the server and on the client at the same time, you probably need to coordinate that stuff. But as I said, we're not concerned about server just yet, but maybe we should keep it as a provider. Okay, so I guess let's start. Let's start with a provider. Yeah, let's do it here. So how this provider is called? Meta provider. I'm down. This is so meta. Okay, so it's kind of like here. So now, we create a provider here. So meta provider is a const that is I mean, in terms of props, we only probably care about children. Does the provider has any options? From server, you pass tags array to meta providers. Is that how it coordinates? Then call. Okay, so it should be the same tags, I guess. Yeah, this is interesting, the global state kind of stuff. So you're creating an object and you're mutating in here, I would assume. Yeah, slice and push and all that stuff. So you're not thrilled about it. I'm not exactly thrilled about it. Tag props, anything rough. Use rough. Okay, I don't want to think about it too much. So again, we don't use this server-side stuff yet. So what do we want to have up for provider? I think I forgot how to create providers. So we want to first have first want to create a context. Then we want to use this context here. So I actually have like a really great gist about providers. So, oops, where am I? Oh no. How do you search marges? What's happening? Folder. It's pretty old, so I'm going to be scrolling a lot. Yeah, this one. There's something wrong with my clipboard, but anyway, so here it's probably a little too small, but here I explain how to create type safe context. And the idea behind type safe is that you don't have to type much. Okay, so let's do this. I mean, did we just get the whole thing? Okay, let's get the whole thing and just remove the stuff that we don't need. So yeah, I guess no one uses this anymore. So our provider value need to have add where is it? Add add client tag. Not particularly thrilled about the names of everything, but let's keep it simple for now. So it's add client tag and remove client tag. I guess it's just a function for now. Okay, so now use memo. We don't need any of that image stuff, of course. Probably this as well. So now we create a context, and this is going to be meta provider. I mean, it's not provider, but good enough. So now provider is using value, so it's using this same function, and because the same function was used to figure out the type, it's like this value and this function return the same stuff. So we pass the rest of the props. We actually do this to get to children. So this is a bit awkward for TypeScript. It's just giving up here. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm not sure what's the proper way doing doing React 18 children types yet. So I'm going to leave it like this for now. Okay, so in order to use the context, yeah, that's actually the thing that I heard a lot of kind of advice how to do context better, especially if you want to test and stuff. So what's happening is my buffer. Okay, so meta provider should be int3. So use context must be used within a provider. What's the better error message? Meta provider should be int3. I mean, so the error is when we are using use context and we are not we are forgot provider. So yeah, also use context. This is probably like an internal. Interesting. Yeah, because they don't really care. I mean, they're not exporting this function, so yeah, let's not export it as well. So here. So what's happening here? Oh yeah, that's the same name. So use. Okay, I guess let's not do this yet. And it should be just okay. So we're talking about meta tag component, and we use context from React, and if it's not defined, we're saying please meta components can only be used inside, not inside, but like under something like that. Okay, so what does meta tag render? It doesn't render anything interesting. It doesn't render anything. Okay. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Let's remove all of that for now. Okay, so our provider should be called meta provider. And okay, and now so our title should be meta meta tag interesting that it's not actually a component. The meta tag is not actually a component. I mean, why not? Is that a fair question? So it uses head creates unique ID. I think React is supporting something like this now as well. Do we need ID? Why do we use it? So ID is used somewhere. I guess it's used in add client tag. No, not really. I just wonder if that's like just server side stuff. Data SM. Yeah. Why do you need data SM? Remove the old tag, add the new tag, use the old tag. Right, so it does something. Use one element for all tags, so at the same time just swap out where the props get applied. I wonder if we can do that in React. So so meta tag is not a React component. It's just a function that takes tag as a string and takes props. Yeah, so meta tag is not exported. And it takes props. And props are and props are just props of the meta tag. Interesting. So the title component has like HTML props and such. And what does it do with children? Yes. Yeah, that's interesting. So it's class attributes. Okay, so let's start again. If I just put this, will it work? Like this title has I don't know any title specific props, so I'm guessing it works. So it's meta tag title and all of its props. Yeah. Something like that. So meta tag takes basically like any props. I think the way to do it right now is something like this. Maybe an unknown. Oh, it's complaining now. The string is missing on class index signature. But any works. Okay, I'm not I'm not gonna think about it. Okay, so now we have this hook, which is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Get name. It's a getter on an object. That's interesting. Okay, so what what can I use out of all of this? So let's just pretend that we don't have ID and props name or props property. It feels like it's neither. Okay. But what is useHead? UseHead is not a lot. So we don't have ID yet. It doesn't know if if name is anything. And we have props again. I think that's just like the modern way of writing the same stuff, right? So cannot find name meta context. Why not? Because I didn't name it this way. Oh, I don't know what I just pressed. Okay. And so we have a meta context. Create render, add server tag. Yeah, we need to add server tag. So because we checked context here already, shouldn't we check the context here then? Okay, let's just do this like that. And it's just context. Okay. So server, don't do anything. And I mean, do we need to return? Maybe we don't. Okay, so rate render effect. In React, that would be layout effect, I guess. So layout effect. So it's not server tag description and this and that on cleanup. Yeah, so that's the one that's going to be really interesting. So this use layout effect use the same kind of like signature. It fires synchronously after DOM mutation. Use this to read layout. Okay, so in our case, we're just returning this. So tag description is a type. Okay, no, this is except that we decided that ID is not a thing yet. So this means that this is type description as well. And add client. Yeah, something like that. So it's tag into description, and then it's index and number. Okay. Yeah, except that we don't know that this one is returning numbers yet. I mean, could return a number. Yeah, so this is fine. This is just fine. Okay, so cascading tags. So title is a cascading tag. I guess it's probably easier to just copy it and remove the extra stuff. Okay. So get tag type. That's interesting. Tag plus tag name. Why do you need tag type? Okay, so cascading instances, interesting. Where do we create them? Okay, the provider creates them. Okay, so in React world, that's going to be a ref. And just new map. So that's a cascading tag, which is title. So index is going to be not one. So this is basically like true. So if that's always true, we don't need any of that stuff. And we can remove this stuff. Only cascading styles or tags need to be kept in singletons. So didn't see get tag type before. So it's a tag.tag, which is title plus tag name, which is hopefully undefined. So tag type is going to be title for now. So what do we set? We set instances. So what's tag description? Okay, so the tag description object is the stuff that is getting. Okay, so is that bad? That's the question. Because in React, this object is going to be recreated every time, I would assume. So maybe that's why we need. Yeah, it's funny that basically like to if you want a unique ID of object, what is enough is that you just return like array, because this array is going to be unique for each component. And because we use like use memo or use ref, it's going to be like the same for this component, but the reference is going to be like different for, you don't have to create like a random random number or random string or anything. It's just like the ID, just like the pointer to the object is going to be unique. Anyway, so that's a bit unfortunate. Or what's happening? I guess I'm pressing some random buttons. Yeah, so that's not going to work, unfortunately. Okay, so let's see what else. So all of this stuff is just to I didn't see why you need to set it. I think this is kind of like, I wouldn't write it this way. The way I would write it is something like that. So, and we're adding a new tag as the instance. So not server, which is true. Get element, spread, props. Yeah, it's easy for Solid to say because their props are going to be dumb elements. It's not going to work for us. Parent, no, not the. I wonder what that means. Is there some kind of like component drift that we're expecting, or is it just not mounted yet? So last visited. What's that? Remove child. This is too complicated. So let's start with something simple. So let's just comment out all of it, because I still don't know how to do the how to pass like values. So we're gonna return, I don't know, like 0 all the time, which is not great, but it could work. So we're looking for something like this. So appending, right? So the get element is the interesting stuff. So get element, I think it goes to real DOM or it creates it. How do React libraries do this? Okay, so update tags, generate title as a React component, assign into an array, define toString functional, create React props, convert element. What is happening here? Okay, so we're creating element here. To component to string. How do you use to component? Well, so it's a component that where does it render? I don't understand. It returns itself, or what's the point? Isn't that the component that we're in right now? Huh. I don't get it. Oh yeah, with side effects. It's the side effects that does stuff, but still need to create. Oh yeah, so I think I'm going to look at the simpler implementation. Add provider, which is again like a class component, and head tag. So where do we create a portal? Oh yeah, that one is using portal. That's really cool. Okay, so how does it check the index? It has index. Yeah, that one is really kind of like simple. Maybe I should have looked at this one. Add client tag. Add provider. Yeah. So head tags should render tag. Should render tag. If cascading. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, I wonder if SolidMeta was kind of like created based on this. Set state. Okay, so that's the state of the provider, which is a bit unfortunate. Because it's using, as I said, it's using provider kind of like more than what Solid would use. Anyway, so let's think about it. So this one doesn't render at all. It just shows the index. So, but it stores index in state, because if I'm removing the last component, I need the previous one to know that its index has changed, and it should be rendered now. We don't do anything like that right now. So maybe this instances stuff should be state. Interesting. Okay, and so after that it's a tag. Yeah, because we just render a portal. React will know what to do with all of the with all of the updates to the components and stuff. So that seems like a smart idea, which means because okay, so now I'm going to, I guess, and just explain why we want to care about that. So here we are rendering the component. I mean, the interesting part is probably here, is that here we are connecting props to HTML element, and if our props change, Solid is smart enough to change the HTML. But in React world, there is no way to write this. It has to be a component. So it's really interesting. So I think that the portal idea seems like the cool one. I don't know why they separated it, why it's not just a tag right in here. I mean, maybe just create it like a name. So in terms of our stuff, we're talking about meta tag returning actually returning something. So we want to create a component which is I guess we just tag. Is it something like that? I don't remember the syntax. If I write it here, yeah, I think like that. So tag and the rest. In our case, it's just going to be props. Okay. So is that enough? What are we at here? So it's crashing with all kinds of errors. So first is that we don't use provider. Now that we use it, crashes with some other stuff. So element is not defined. Okay. Who said anything about element? Okay, here, right. Each child should have a prop. That was here. Oh, I mean, exactly. It should have a prop. It's interesting that in Solid, the like the instance of this So the instance of like the object in array is the key basically. So if you have const x y, I mean, it should be like an object. Yeah, so something like that. So, and if you have like map over pages, so if pages is x y on one render and y x on the other, what Solid will do, it will know that it points to the same thing just in different order, and it will move DOM elements. It will know that's like it has basically like the same key. Yeah, so I was kind of like surprised how it works. Okay, so what do we do next? Yeah, so we fixed all the issues hopefully. So it shows app white title, and yeah, it just shows app white title. So now if we go to head, and if we click all our stuff, interesting. Okay, so oh yeah, we don't resolve page on the when you refresh the page. So I guess I would have something like initial page is, it's not path name, it's hash, right? So it's hash, but it's you need to slice it or splice it or whatever you need to do with it. And so it's that, and I think this is hash, and then initial page is if pages includes hash as pages, then hash. Otherwise, yeah, Copilot understood what I was going for. So initial page, right? So it should be like something like this. Something like this. I want to make TypeScript happy, so this probably doesn't have to be pages anymore. Yeah. Okay. So now if we go to about and refresh, get both titles. So do we do anything in the dashboard? We don't. It actually makes sense for us to have some kind of, I don't know, like a counter, which I recently figured out like a cool way to do counters. So maybe not recently, but so what you do is that you have like set interval on the outside of the component, and you do you do some kind of like increment here, and then like each second, but the increment is like let, that is just an empty function at first, but then once you render, yeah, but Pilot almost got it. So now here, if I have count here, if I go to about, yeah, so now it's now if I remove this one, the title is going to change. I should probably move it here so it's easier to see. Okay, great. So now go back. Yeah, so it's it keeps going because our top level stuff. So if we would have created a separate component for about page, that would be yeah. So this has problem that if I unmount this component, it will still call this set count, but I think they like remove the warnings, so it's no longer a problem, right? So like we remove the title. So anyway, so let's look at the React helmet again and just try to figure out should render stuff. Should we do the same? Why do we need this? Okay, this looks like a just a global value. So consumer, yeah, I'm lost. So I guess consumer has some value that is stored in provider, and this is just the link to it. I don't yeah, so we use it here for component mount. So we do add client tag. That seems a bit silly. Is it silly? We only do set state right. So it renders first, can use DOM as false, then it sets can use DOM, then it adds to DOM, then should render changes, and then it renders again. Yeah, that seems like too much too much work. I'm not going to test it again to make sure that it's doing this, but it feels like it's doing it. So, and that's enough for me. So, is there better way? I know they do most of this stuff is just to make sure that like server and client works, but I I don't have this this requirement, so I feel like it's going to be a bit smoother for me. Okay, so Did our counter became bigger, became faster? Yeah, it's just for each HMR, we are probably creating new set interval, and we are not hooked into like HMR stuff to undo set interval. So unfortunately, the right way to do this is something like window timer equals window timer or set interval. And sprinkle with a bit of ts-ignore. Oh no. By the way, if you want to do it without ts-ignore, the way that I like the most is something like this. So you do it as type of window. So it just basically like it's the same thing. But here you can add a type. So t is like number. And so now timeout is not assignable. Yeah, because it doesn't know what type is that. Yeah. And we wrote any in the end. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Okay, so probably can probably align this. Yeah, that's what people who don't like TypeScript say, is that type definitions are half of the code, but if you look closely, it's actually like on this kind of like page, type definitions are like, I don't know, like 12 characters or something. So okay, I like where everything is going so far, but we need to kind of like close it. So I'm not happy with what is how did I say it? I think I like create portal. It feels like something that will just work in terms of React. What I don't like is how do we coordinate all of this stuff. So if I'm rendering like 5 titles on the same page, how all of them are deciding what to render. The should render feels really reacty. It's like, yeah, should I render? But then you're storing kind of like the global state. Okay, so let's look at it a bit closer. So I think it's in the provider. So by default, it's true. So by default, everything is working kind of great. So the only problem is with title, and then again, I only kind of like started this this stuff for the title. I will need a meta tag as well, but I started for a title. So if it's a cascading tag and we have some state, right? So my problem with this state is that we would have to we would have to update it. Yeah, so for every client tag that we add, we update state, which where do we call client tag? So right now we call it in use layout effect. So we first render, then we call layout effects, which calls another render, and so on. So it seems inefficient. It seems like there should be a better way of dealing with that. What I could do is I could create an empty div that is not connected to DOM, and then I render with create portal everything into there, and then I have some kind of way to move stuff out of that div into head, which like updating props will work, but how do I coordinate? Yeah, I would have to have like refs for the elements that got actually rendered. Or my yeah, I don't know. let's look at solid code again, and let's figure out if we can actually reuse it. So we do set indices in the layout, or like so yeah, I don't really understand how last visited indices works. So it's undefined at first, then we set index -1. So where do we get index? Okay, it's just a length. Okay, so we start at the last one and we go backwards. As soon as we find instance, we think that it is a last one. Okay. Where do we call remove when we are unmounted? So yeah, so I think that's for a case when it's like all of them got unmounted. So if you're like navigating from page that has like three tags like dip, and all of them could be removed at the same time. Ref. I mean, because it's a we have a ref. Okay. I'm suddenly interested in that ref stuff. So once we get element here, we set a ref. So it's not really like next, or not really like solid ref. It's just get element ref. Yeah, and it has like this ID stuff to make sure that it's the same element. And instead of rendering it, because we have like nulls there, we're creating elements here. So where do we check for refs again? So this is unmounting. I mean, this is unmounting and this is mounting. Yeah, idea of create portal sounds so fun. Yeah, the thing that we didn't solve yet is that this is an object and it will have like the instance is going to be. I mean, we're so close yet so far. The question, should I just add state or try to write like more optimized code with this like solid style? I can't do get element in React. I think that's probably not going to work. I can have some kind of ID. So what was the ID thing? So use ID. Right. So when was use ID added? Yeah, we don't use React 18 yet, so I feel like I can't use ID yet. What else? I mean, I can use this ID, right? Okay, so this is so interesting, but I'm so stuck. What can I do? I can probably have refs. So if I wonder if I create this object on this side. It's a bit silly. Name does not exist on. Okay, what does? Does property exist? This seems a bit silly, but maybe it's a good silly. Right, so the problem is props is that this object is going to change all the time. But we don't actually need props on the tag description because we are not using this. So we don't need it here, don't need it here. Okay. So this is tag and name. And it has to have a ref. So ref is going to be null or HTML HTML element. I mean as. Okay. HTML, just HTML element. Okay. And it should depend on property. Just because, yeah. So, and this is so this is tag description. And something like that. So here I could use tag description. And here I can use well, it's going to be unfortunate if that's true. I don't know if that's like a just TypeScript stuff or I want to tag string. Is it just a string? Element or undefined? What? Right, so it's HTML element. Null. Think. Oh, no. So I'm gonna leave it as props. Okay, let's figure out if we can actually use ref. So it's tag description ref equals e, and we can probably console log it. Okay, so it's not happy with what is going, but I want to check if it actually works. Okay, so okay, I don't like seeing null in title. What does it mean? Does it mean it's remounting, or it's a completely new component? So what we can actually do is we can, yeah, something like that. And it's like E and all this stuff. So because we printed first, then set ID, wouldn't that, yeah, it feels like it's the same component. I don't know why it's showing null then. So what will happen if I just pass tag description ref and then would want to console log tag description ref? It's null. Interesting. So what if ref is current and such? So here we would have it as current. Okay. So it's not jumping to nulls anymore. Okay. So where do we console log it? Five, six, seven. Okay, it doesn't seem too crazy. Okay. Let's see if that will ever help. So what we want to do is that right. We want to get our index. So okay, so hopefully console log. Do console log here. Well, something broke. We do call add client tag all the time. It is a bit unfortunate. So if we add it like this, will that work? Okay, so it's not redoing this all the time, but the counter is going. So so that's the only thing that should like change the index, is that when we are like mounting or unmounting. So so now let's figure out what should be the index. Remove child or node. So who is calling remove child? That's the React calling, right? Oh, maybe that's because we removed it manually. Is that it? Okay, I don't care yet. So so the ID calculation, we probably need to take it from here because it's a smaller thing. So if it's cascading tags, okay, let's add a cascading tags. I gave in. Okay, so if it's a cascading tag, so it's tag dot tag, something like this. Yeah. So now the state. So the map idea was good. It's tag for now. So what's wrong with get? Get doesn't exist on. Oh yeah, it's like current get. Okay. So those instances are set on provider. Okay, so now we have instances, and we are adding the instance, and we are dragging this synchronously. I'm not 100% sure what synchronously means here, but let's just think that it's fine. Should I have the tag type? Yeah, let me have it like that for now, so that I know that we need to fix it later. Okay, so we're setting our instance as per tag type, and now we need to calculate the indices. Last visited. The last visited is the thing that we're looking for, right? Or not? Interesting. Yeah, it seems this will only work in solid. So in our case, names, tags, name, indices. So we get indices, and we are trying to, I mean, won't we always add it to the end? Name. Where do we get the name? Add client tag. I hated that it's in a different commands. Okay, so name or property. So that's the tag.name, our case. Right, that's the get tag tape. I'm kidding. I'm getting too sleepy. I kind of like I lost what is happening. Okay, so I think I need to follow. I need to follow solid here. So get tag type. Okay, so this is external function. Now I get tag type. Okay, so now I get tag type, which I need to get, and I need to find the indices. That's actually, that doesn't sound too crazy. So if it's a cascading style, do all of this stuff, we add it, and then the last one is the one that we return. Okay. Okay. We are redeclaring something. Where do we redeclare? Okay, here, yes. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know what's happening here. I thought that it's going to be easier to understand, but it wasn't. Okay, so we hide all of this stuff for now. So let's see. Let's see our indexes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Because we don't remove anything. That's probably our problem. So what's happening with remove for now? Okay. So add, remove, add. That's the React 18 stuff in strict mode where it just does it for fun. So let's start with remove here first. So when we are unmounting, we're doing remove. And the actual remove just finds stuff and deletes it. Yeah, let's look at the solid. No, I don't know how many of those I actually needed. Okay, so now ref. Yeah, that's going to be the interesting one. But let's do the other stuff first. So we're looking for a what's that going to be? I forgot. So it's a map of okay, so it's an array of tags, right? I think so. So now that array okay, this is the part that will remount the interesting. Okay, so we don't do remount yet. We just need to remove stuff from. Okay, so this one is current set, and so if we got an array, we want to remove element from that array. So will that work? Type is not assignable to description. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't know if you can actually do this. So if I have an array of 1, 2, 3, and if I do 1 null, so what's happening? Okay, but if I do 2 null, still, will that work? Yeah, so I don't know how that helps exactly. Because this is maybe it's fine to have it now. I mean, if it doesn't really work, maybe it should be just undefined. Okay, so this map could be just tag or null. I think that's a possibility. Right, so all of this stuff is the mounting and mounting. And we are going to just ignore it for now. Where is it? Here. So 1, 2, 4, 5. Interesting. That's interesting. I wanna. So where's it? That client tag. Right. So should the index be like -1 or something? That doesn't sound right. So index here is. Starts with 0, but what about hours? Length. Yeah, that seems like more that we actually need. I wonder if this has a bug, it just like no one really cared to fix it. Or am I missing something? Yeah. So first calculate the index, then we are adding the data. Yeah, that makes much more sense. So 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, but I'm guessing all of those arrays are empty. Yep. Okay. So I don't need any of this stuff anymore, and I need this stuff. So maybe actually see if I think the last visitor stuff. Yeah, we still need last visitor stuff. Okay, so let's figure out the last visitor. So the question is, do we know if we would go through this array? And we would console log last visited. We would console log indices. I feel like we're close. We should be close. Okay, I need some kind of marker. So our right. So this thing could be true, and then it could have like actual element. And so if it does, what does it say about our experiments? All right, so the question is, if I do last visited. Okay, it shows something. So now I want to try okay, so something is happening. But I'm not yet sure what. Okay, so let's look at what is going here. So here we want to make sure that the component that we added is going to be added to head, but this is already done by Portal. And here, the last visited stuff is going to be removed. And as far as I understand, that's going to do it. Now, so this, yeah, so I'm not sure why we're removing just one. But I guess if we're removing one previous, if we're removing previous one each time we add new one, I think it should work out. So let's amount previous instance. I mean, right. Okay, so now here, so which one should it be? Yeah, I think the append child. I think the interesting story is that when we removed this one, we also need to go back and return the one that we had. So if so it should be current. Remove child current. Something like that. Probably need to. Yeah. It feels right. Oh, oops. Failed to execute. Remove child and node. Node to be removed is not a child with this node. Okay. Right, so we don't need to remove stuff. I forgot about it. I think I said it, but didn't do anything about it. Wow. Did I crack it or what? Okay, so let's figure out this part. So if current tag name is index and yeah, we probably don't need that, whatever that is. This is like what to do in terms of if we have a cascading or we need to remove, but we don't need to remove it because the portal is going to remove it. That was our error here because like portal already removed it. So this T, is that like just cascading? What that tags, cascading tags, instances? I think that was instances before, right? Anyway, so let's add it to our example. We wanted to have title at dashboard. But that one was going to have was going to have like a button. Yeah. And our dashboard extra was going to have title as well. Yep. So now if you go to home, it's just app wide title. Now it's dashboard. And now if we go to dashboard extra, should probably do it like that so it's easier to see. So now, yep. We didn't want it to see that. Okay, so what happened is that because we have like 3 titles, I mean, I should probably show it. Oh, yeah. I won't be able to show it. But basically, because we have 3 titles, is like app wide, dashboard, and dashboard extra. When we were unmounting dashboard, its component was already unmounted. So yeah. So our portal crashed because it tried to unmount it. Can we quickly mount it back before portal tries to unmount it? Wonder what's the order. This is so close. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just because Solid plays kind of like loosely in terms of what it's doing. It's probably like just don't crash, and if element is already unmounted, and React does. Right. So because it's the last one, it can work okay, but if it's the one in the middle, yep, everything crashes. It won't probably happen in like in the application that I'm writing, but it's a bit unfortunate. Right. So so we want to check. Yeah. So that's basically like the problem of because here we are trying to kind of like mount and unmount into head manually instead of relying on kind of like component level stuff. Yeah, it will crash. So what we're going to do is that we're going to commit it, but knowing that it will not work. So yeah, interesting. That's I wonder if I should commit all of this separately, or I mean the idea is, okay, this one I need to also describe this one. Remove static title from HTML so that we can create one from title component later after render. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so let's commit all of this with like a cleanup and sample app with using title component. Okay, and we would commit this something like mesh up with mesh. How do you write it? Mesh up? Is it mash up? Mixture. Yeah. Okay. Mashup of SolidMeta and React hat. That doesn't work because we are removing elements manually. Okay. So what we're going to do is, I think I have a plan. So our ref ID is great, but we need we need to do something better. What we are going to do is yeah, we don't need any of this current stuff anymore. So where's our portal? Okay, so yeah, we can't have conditional hooks, but the idea is that we don't really need state for the components that are not title. And oh no, did I lose internet again? Am I still online? Does anyone know? No, it doesn't seem like I am. Well, am I still online? Sure, hope so. Okay, I think I'm still going on YouTube, but Twitch is dead. Do you have a like? Is it working? Oh, I think okay. We're almost done, so let's close it up. So I think we're going to give up on the idea of refs. I don't like the idea of having state in provider. I want to have it in components instead. So we're going to have a state. We're going to remove refs, and we're going to hide components if they're set to not show. So so our ref is going to be our set show, and so React dispatch, React set state action, yeah, something like that. React dispatch, React set state action, boolean. Okay, so now instead of remount, we're going to just set false. And here is the more interesting thing. So we so if our current component is mounted, so we're just going to assume that it's always is, and this condition will always return true. We will. Okay. So this is the stuff that mounts the component above us. So that just means ref true. More or less. That's kind of the idea. Okay. Still have stuff completely breaking. So this might be caused by accidental early return statement. Render fewer hooks than expected. Interesting. So where our portal? Oh yeah. You know React. If you're right, you're right. Okay, I think I broke it somehow, but we're not going to give up just yet. So if we go to home, it's okay. If we go to about, it's okay. If we go to dashboard, it's fine as well. Okay, but this one is messing everything up. Not hiding properly all the previous ones. So let's kind of simplify. Okay, so here I may be showing too many of them. When I add something, I wanna yeah. Do you need like do I need like a break here? Maybe I accidentally removed it. So when I remove stuff, I wanna append it to head, but feels like I don't wanna append all of them. I mean, so the best part is that it's not crashing anymore when we when we do stuff, right? Because everything is in React right now, so we don't randomly like add stuff. Okay, so we're trying to remove, we have all of them null, and then you have 2 titles. So that's probably what we see right now. Right. So now let's imagine we add break here. It's only 1 title, but I still see both of them here. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so we only add stuff in cascading if it's cascading, and yeah, it feels like we should just have like 2 meta tags, that one is like cascading, one is not cascading, one has state, one doesn't. So I don't know. Yeah, I wanted to look at the bundle size and all that stuff, so to figure out what's the like best approach size wise. But okay, I feel like I wanna finish this, and the best way to finish is probably going to be some kind of overkill. So when we're removing, when we're adding tags, we just go and hide everything before it. Right? No, just hide the previous one. Okay. Right. So I think first thing that I want to understand is that which of them is not doing right things. So now I'm removing, and it went and like so when I remove, yeah, so it found the one before it, but it ignored the one behind it. So do we have anything in? Okay, I think I'm having my internet problems again. Was it okay? Okay. This is another sign that I should just close everything up. and go slip. Okay. So this is remove self, this is remove self, and show the previous one. Okay, so because we have everything in React, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go and literally we're going to, anyway, I was trying to understand when it's going wrong, and like it's going yeah, I think we don't care about the index. It would only help us in case of if we only needed to remove ourselves. Here we just go in through all instances and just hide all of them. No. Set it to null only when it's unmounted. This is just to hide it. And yeah, so if we hide all of them, we want to show the last one. So if we are moving in the middle, we wanna go to the -2 basically and set it to true. Oh, no, -1. And here we start with -2 and hide all of them if they are not unmounted. Okay. So we have extra dashboard, dashboard. No. We don't set to true enough. So we want to set the last one to true. So it's here. Okay, so this should do something. Okay, I think this is just too hard of a issue trying to solve with removing the middle title. So we're not gonna. So I want to return it to the state when it worked, and hopefully think it was here. So we're on the home, on about, on home, on about, on dashboard, on home, on extra dashboard, on dashboard. Okay, no, here we broke it. Well, should I just push the version that was without state? So when we are on the extra dashboard and we return to dashboard, I expect to have expect my last instance to show up. But instead, yeah, maybe we need break here. Okay, let's test. So home, about, dashboard, home, dashboard, home, dashboard, extra dashboard, dashboard, extra dashboard, dashboard, home. Yeah, so I think that should be good enough for package first. So yeah, it's called draft. Should be like set show. Should we leave? Yeah, set show. Okay, so I'm going to go in detail what is happening. So let's use React state instead of don't be a bully, Copilot. So let's use React states instead of manually manipulating the DOM. Okay. Okay. So now let's go to package version, and it's going to be a version. Should be um, 010 should push, and I forgot we have like a publish command. Yeah, so it builds it, it prepares the dist, and it's 2 kilobytes, which is pretty good. And what's happening now? I don't have internet again. This, I mean, we did most of the stuff, so maybe not having internet is not such a big of a problem. I wonder if I can fix Twitch in any way while we're waiting for this. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I guess I will have to do it offline. I mean, when I get back online, just not on the stream. Yeah. Do we know what is happening right now? I'm guessing that it's just it can't connect to npm or something. Yeah, I don't know. So what I would have done is I would have published the package and checked on like bundle phobia. What's the is it bundle phobia? It's one of the phobias. Yeah, I wonder if this, like, what's the problem that I have right now is because of the wired internet. As I was saying, that was like the problem before. Yeah, I think I have, if I had some connections working, it still works, but I can't connect to anything new. So that's the issue that I have right now. Yeah. Oh no, it actually worked. Yay. I need my OTP. And we're going to be on our way. Yay. So we're going to go to unpackage. That's the one that I like, because we can look at the code. Okay, it's 2 kilobytes unzipped, which is not bad. It minified, it's mostly good except for like set show and like all of this stuff. Right? Yeah. So we will play with the like for loop and stuff to make it work better. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the if all the types will work, but yeah, I guess since I don't have the internet, I won't be able to show what is happening. But at least we have this, and it looks okay. Let's compare it to React helmet. What's happening? I think I have it right. Okay. Yeah, 35 kilobytes. Yeah, so that's, and yeah, it doesn't look minified, which will help, but apparently not enough. Package phobia. Yeah, this internet is really strange. It's like, yep. There is something wrong with DNS, and I don't know how to set up DNS in Mac, so maybe we can have a fun adventure trying to figure out DNS. So I know this one. Okay. reactjs-meta. install size, publish size. Okay. Install size is not great, to be honest. Yeah, anyway, I should just give up because I don't have internet. I guess I just want to say a bit about the channel. I don't know if anyone's is going to be watching, right? So I think since last time I got like 100 more subscribers, which I'm waiting for. Oh no, internet is. Oh no, it's fine. I'm waiting for 1000 because that's where all the like cool tools are showing up. I'm interested to try out all the like premieres and live stream rates and all of that stuff. I don't know how any of that works, and I can't test until I get 1000 subscribers. So it's great that people subscribe, and yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, I created like a Telegram channel. I don't know if I don't know if anyone will actually use it, but it's okay. I don't know if it's still working. I tried to reconnect my wired internet, which I don't know if that's the right way to fix it. But that's just something that I tried. Yeah, I'm living in apartments where I don't have any backup internet. I'm trying to set up like a Verizon stuff where I can at least have some internet if the main one will not work. Verizon has like 5G hot not really hotspots. It's like 5G home internet, but yeah, I don't know how to set up any of that yet, and it's pretty expensive. So yeah, so if I will create Discord at some point, but for now it's like a really exclusive place where we have just 2 people, me and some other guy, which I don't even know if he's he watches my videos or just like a random person on the internet. Okay, I don't know how much of the ending is going to be there because I didn't have internet for the last, I don't know, like 15 minutes. So maybe I will just cut it early. Yeah, so if you see this part, say hi. Okay, bye.